Oh, damn it. Oh well, anyway. You can now see Flumello's Tower. Flumello's Tower on the map. And that's where we're going. Once I can actually navigate to the icon. I'm very talented, aren't I? So today we're going to be exploring all the things we couldn't. Or at least a fair number of them. We're going to start off by going through the middle. I'm going to see if I can actually find all of the... Like... I even missed the first one of these. And this is like the prologue. Legend of the Desert. Let's read this one. All praise the Queen, Flumello the Fourth, gracious and all-knowing ruler of the glorious kingdom of Glennis. Okay. Henceforth we leave the truth of an epic saga of love and war as remembrance for those who live to read it. Greater than this tower is a tale of 1,000 years ago. This is very strange. This whole it's a tale of 1,000 years ago. So what that implies is either this tale is over 2,000 years old, or this tale was inscribed on these recently, which is very strange. I find it very strange. It's just one of those details that's like, right. You know, it's like it's 1,000 years ago, okay? And everyone's like, okay, it's 1,000 years ago, and then they forget that that doesn't make sense when it's actually the writing is supposed to be from 1,000 years ago. So I don't know if that was intentional of them or not, but it's still just a detail that I noticed and I thought was, you know, that's pretty interesting.
Damn.
Yeah, ignored. Well, that was messy, but I eventually got myself fixed from that fight. I ended up having to rely on Blackout to win, and here's an excavation point. I doubt this is the
yes
thing. This is not going to apply to any other video, so he gained some stats. It's not that big a deal. I'm only looking just in case there's a morsel in this tower, which I can't remember. But what we're actually going to do right now is we're looking to obtain that weapon that I told you about. And we can get it by going up here. Although I would really love to find the map for the third floor. That's probably going to be one of the last things we do in this video. I have not gone for the method of using... I don't think I've even used the speed movement at all. I mean, like, yeah, you can use them to get past enemies and get away from enemies, but it's not that helpful. This is what I was after. Ninja Katana +3. It's a +3 weapon, and it's got good attack and mystic attack. It's better than what we've got in terms of attack. It's not as good for mystic defense, but it's got the same defense. So we're going to take that, and this is what I did when I went through here. I didn't have SP on. I think I had the defender equipped, but I went and equipped this, even though I lost a bunch of defense when I did that. And if I go, no, I have to go to party members. If
impressive,
I go to rush,
huh?
am I still? No, it went one-handed, and I changed it over to power grip that way, and I managed to, and I'm managing to run away from this guy. There's a fair bit more for us to go through, and that leads on to the next layer. There's still a fair bit that I want to, like, I haven't even been over here yet, I don't think, because I couldn't go over there. I'm gonna have to go from the bottom or the top to get there. And it's all eventually gonna lead to the same place. That's the thing, this tower everything leads to the top and to the bottom. In this tower. Well, that or a dead end. Fair number of them dead ends. Nothing over there, nothing over there. Enemy dodging is kind of what I'm good at in this game. I'm no good at fighting, I'm no good at thinking about what I'm doing, I'm no good at remembering where treasures are, or the layout of a dungeon. What I am good at is avoiding getting into fights, or at least sort of good at. Don't be too harsh on me, it's the only thing I know how to do. That was unexpected. And this one, this is chapter 3. Let's just read it anyway. She had pledged her love to the Lord of Underworld. Okay. The two Paramis did nothing to hide their affection for each other and soon announced their engagement. Celebrations continued throughout the kingdom of Glennis for days. Okay. However, few within the young country could have foretold that what the future held for their love. Okay, that clears up a bit of what I'd forgotten about this whole story and why it involves certain characters. Right, and now we're on the tier of value, and I have no map. And I don't want to go. I don't know. I'm just going to go this way. And we'll see what I find. I mean, I have to find the map eventually by looking around here. I mean, I think I do. And there was a demon behind me. I'll see you once this is done. Right, well that was a bit of a mistake. I was trying to avoid getting into too many confrontations. But I wound up getting into one anyway. Oh, well, at least you don't have to see it, because you've seen all these most of the basic enemies before. There's not much to it, it's just going through the motions. Let me just a plug was flying out of my computer. That wouldn't have been too good. Anyway, we're just gonna keep looking through here and we're gonna try to find something like a map. Which is not that way. But it may very well be this way. I may very well have just done something incredibly silly. I did something incredibly silly. Which means I have to wiggle my way out of it. Yay, wiggling. This is just narrow corridors. Ugh, messy. I can't remember what's sitting in here. Oh, it's a room with it's a single room with a treasure chest. Must be something nice. Phalanx mace. That is a master tool hammer that wreaks havoc upon enemy lines. Yeah, that's a good weapon. I mean, I could probably use that on Rush even. Change him from being a sword style to mace style. And it's got instant kill, which is actually very good. There's a fair few characters who could use that. Anyway, that's all we can actually get access to in here from this direction. What we're going to do now is we're going to not go the way that leads to our certain death. We're going to have to unfortunately proceed back to where we came from. Because any other direction in here is just certain death. Or encounter. And there's nothing that we can, nowhere that we can go that way. So we're going to have to go back through the way we came up here and try the other way. As is often the case when exploring a dungeon. And there's those pesky demon kings again. Are they demon kings that we're fighting in, that would be fighting in here? Yeah, demon kings. Pesky demon kings. They're only pesky. Just a minor nuisance. No real problem there. They're just annoying. I wish that were true, because they're not just annoying, they're a total pain in the ass. And those guys, I don't like them. They're big, they're scary, they have huge weapons, which really, if you got hit by one of those, it would hurt. Like the things your characters go through in this game.
Damn.
It's gonna hurt. Okay, that was easier than a fair few of them. There was only one of them. And I believe that way would lead us to the central area. No way for me to guarantee that, but that's what I think. That's just a Demon King, and I can taste my lunch. Oh well. And a ladder. Like, this is the one, I'm never expecting a ladder in a place like this. I forgot that there was even a ladder in here. And we have a treasure chest up the top, which contains... Finally, okay. That there is the final area where, and that there's where you go to fight the boss and all that. Here is, so we came up here, we went down, and then we went where we could. There's a whole other half of that which we can't go to, unless we get to the middle. But first, I want to go through this area and check everything. Actually, wait a second. I think that might be a way up. Okay, this is weird because I only see one way up. Oh, I'll just take a look through this area, see what I can find. There's still at least one more area that we need to investigate. Other than trying to find all of those special things that tell the story of this place. Although I might just
Come on out.
find what they say online and just tell you that.
Okay, later.
Because you know, you can find all this stuff online, what's actually said on these things, and it's probably a lot easier than actually finding all of the stones for me, or at least tablets or whatever they're called. But anyway, there's probably a few more thingamabobs and majigs lying about in this tower. So let's take a look. And yeah, I was right. I think this is where we first came up the tower, because yeah, actually I do remember this. I remember going through here. So what can we do now? We can go to this end from here, which should actually lead us down to the other path, the one path we haven't been on, through this tower, which was at the bottom. It's to the at the bottom of the tower. It's to the left or west. And we're just gonna sneak our way through here. And which one is this again? I may have actually. This is Glory, Chapter 2. So I'm at the end of this video, I might go through this and take all of this and just put it all together, or at least cut, or at least images of it, to tell you the whole story at the end, if I can find it all. But anyway, let's read Glory, which is Chapter 2, which is between Chapter 1 and Chapter, which we saw last episode, and Chapter 3, which we saw earlier. This tower was built in honor of the great Queen Mallow, celebrating her many achievements, okay? After forging ties of Underworld, the kingdom had flourished, becoming the main trade route of the desert. Which reminds you of Baltarossa a lot, doesn't it? However, this alliance was the cause of the tragedy that was to come. Okay, so there is some tragedy mixed in here. So, what do we have left to do? We have to go there. I'm actually going to check if there's any of the tablets in there. Because I think that, I can't remember if there's 4 or 5 of these. There might even be 6. But, like, you'll get the whole story eventually from me. Yeah, remember we ran past that guy last time, and we got by him without any trouble last time. This time, however, may not be so easy. And I could go down there, but we're just gonna try to do this the simple way, without getting ourselves killed. Just as a side note, we're probably going to get ourselves killed. Anyway, let's head back down the one route on this tower that's left to go down. So this is the one route up the tower that we haven't taken so far. Because we're going down, so since we now have the whole map, we can figure out exactly where we're going with a lot more ease. Oh, and here's one of the tablets. This one is... Now, I don't know if I actually read that to you guys or not right now, but that actually tells... And I missed something by going the right way. Oh, bloody hell. So there was something I could have gotten there. Well, that's a mess. I have not done the right thing.
Okay, later.
Anyway, we're just going to keep going down this route because I stuffed up. I'll eventually, in my search for things, go the right way and just dodge enemies by tiny little amounts without even looking where I'm going, and I'll give you all the details, and I'll show off whatever is in that little space. There is nothing in here. Doing the whole spin the camera around trick to check, but there's nothing in that room, so we're all good there. And it's just a little more to check on this floor, other than that one thing that I fucked up. But hey, I forgot that there were ladders and I ran into an enemy.
A good counterattack.
Well, see you after. Okay, back to me badly navigating through tunnels. We're gonna go continue our path downwards onto the Tear of Pride. Now, where are we on the Tear of Pride? We're on the... Right, I know where we are. We're on this side here, which can only be reached from here, which is why I was talking about the whole... Anyway, I'm gonna go back upstairs, let my thing recharge, hopefully. Waiting for a time shift. Time shift is the cheap way to do things. Dun na 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 or something.
Damn.
Okay. This video would be long enough if I didn't cut out all the fighting. Because, well, like, you're like, oh, one fight's not that long. When you think about it, a few fights actually is really that long. It becomes quite a large amount of time that's spent in battle if you can, and there's next to nothing in there. In the treasure chest. But you spend quite a bit of time in the battle compared to, like, the battle becomes like battles become half the video if you if you like include all your battles in this game. If I were to include all the battles. Like, for this at least, since we're just going around gathering treasure and stuff, I'm gonna avoid showing battles, and it's not like it's our first time in this area, even though I didn't show battles the first time we were in here. Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna have to fight these guys. Getting past them is gonna be impossible. We get the gauntlet formation. Okay. See you guys after this. Okay, I know we're recording now. So, where were we going? We were going down this tower. And we just came from up there. So, we need to head down into the rooms below us. And we'll soon be done exploring this tower. Soon. Not right away. We've still got a few things that we need to do, like find 4 and 5, or thing 4 and 5, you know, the ones with the story on it, so that we can have the whole story. This may end up being a very, very special episode. I've got no idea how long I've actually been going on this for.
Damn.
And blue. Okay, there was a little stuff up there, but we should be good now. There's not much left for us to look through on this level, and I think that's about it. Okay, we just gotta slip by this guy, and we'll be going across over to here. And we're almost done with the tower.
Right.
I see something flashing green. Let's go check it out. But let's not check out that purple insect thing, because they annoy me a lot. And once again, we're at it trying to avoid fights. No real diversions in this area. Just straight to where we're supposed to be going. Unless, of course, we find one of the reedy tablet thingies. Doesn't look like it, unless it's in here. In which case it's in a really weird spot, but it's not. Maybe down on the Tier of Doubt. So we've got a little bit to work around in here, but not a whole lot. So let's take a look. That's just our time shift coming back up, and that is probably what I was looking for. More than anything. War, Chapter 5. Let's read this. War broke out. It was clear that the kingdom of Glennis would be overthrown by the God Emperor. It was simply a matter of time. Yet Glennis' forces showed themselves to be worthy opponents, even against the most powerful army in the world. The Queen's Guard fought ruthlessly, more than willing to sacrifice their lives, Even the townsfolk fought bitterly against the invading forces. Faced with such spirited opponents, Underworld's army's morale began to flag. But the devotion of her loyal subjects was the cause of her kingdom's demise. Marion Marshall, new wife of the God Emperor, suddenly appeared on the battlefield. And that leads into the final one of those, which you may or may not know what happens, depending on whether I save that until the very end of this video. I may have cut out a little detail, and there's some explosive materials, which is good and all, but not the most helpful thing in the world. And we're almost done with this place. There's just a few more spots to investigate. We've found all of the story.
Damn.
What the heck was that? Okay, that wasn't part of the plan, but we're still doing stuff. Am I actually recording this? I don't know. I sure hope so. Anything in there? No, just windows. Anyway, we're just about done here. There's just a couple of corners to check out. Like, there's something there. Don't know if it's really anything.
Come on out.
It's just,
Yes.
I just got money.
Okay, later.
Leveling up doesn't matter right now because this is just a re-recording. And that's it. That's everything that's in here. Well, save for one thing. Which
Right.
I'm not going to bother trying to get for this very moment. I'll record me getting that a little bit later. Okay, so see you then. And here's the one thing that I missed. This is the ladder that leads up to the one treasure that we missed along our way. This is along the same area that you got that hammer. And it's a goblin drop. It's no use for crafting. Well, that's about everything in this tower. My name's been Akinov. I hope you've had a good time, and good night, or something like that. You might just see all the story of this tower coming up after this. You might. Bye.